Hello and
Is it?
welcome back to Andy's Cavern Boxing. How about tonight, folks? Hope you're all well out there. Tonight we've got a special guest on, Ireland's #1 boxing fan, Gerry from Ireland. How we doing, Gerry?
More, I wouldn't say that now because I don't have no hair and glasses and white earphones, but
Got a bit of competition.
I'm just an ordinary guy who's a good friend of yourself. So, yep, glad to be on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Very welcome in the cavern here. You got yourself on the beer.
Aye, it's my second one because we were talking before, so we didn't even get recording.
Shooting the breeze. Mm.
Shooting the breeze, but it's good to catch up, mate. It's good to catch up.
Yeah, it's good to talk, as I say. I think that used to be an advert for mobile phones, wasn't it? It's good to talk. Can't
I think
remember
you'll
which one.
find it was Bob Hoskins and it was BT ads.
BT ads, that was it. Old Bob Hoskins,
It
eh?
was
He'll be a
Bob Hoskins. Bob Hoskins, and he went, "It's good to talk."
he'll be a fair age now, Bob Hoskins, eh?
He's fucking dead.
Is he dead?
Oh, he's well dead,
Is
man.
he?
I got to shut up.
Jeez, oh,
He's well dead.
oh dear. R.I.P. Bob Hoskins.
And see if he's not dead. I just feel like a complete twat. Yeah, he died in 2014, mate.
Jesus, 11 years ago. Shows
Yeah,
you
he
how
was
touched I
71.
am, eh? You're more into the movie world than I am, obviously.
You're no Barry Norman.
But
You're no Barry Norman, mate.
that's what I'll have to have that as intro music one night. I keep putting when I've been doing videos myself, I always have a
Oh
wee bit.
yeah, film 94, whatever.
I had John Craven's news
The
round on
theme
one.
tune for film. Yeah, I know.
I had John
I
Craven's
remember
news
John
round.
Craven.
Do you remember a program called Picture Box?
That was before my time, but I know he did it.
It was a guy, Alan Henshaw or something. I think was his name, or Alan something. But we used to get it at school. There was this music. It's on a video I did last night at the beginning. This doo, 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 it's like organ music or something. But I was just looking through some different intro musics, and there was all these things. It's got a trip down memory lane from when I was a kid at school. So I thought, oh, there's that. We'll use that. And but just for a few seconds, so you didn't get hit with a copyright strike. But I never thought about that. What was Barry Norman's? It was like film 86 or film whatever the year was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was film, and then whatever year it was. So that prick Jonathan Ross did it for a bit, and
Ah,
then
he took it. I was going to
uh,
say who took it on after him, but was there no somebody in between?
I think it was Jonathan Ross, and then Claudia Winkleman,
Oh, she got in the act as
and
well.
her fucking fringe kills me, mate. So I can't be watching her. Like,
Ah. So yeah. Have you
I'm
had a
not in the
busy week?
fringe.
Have you had a busy week? Have you been keeping fit still or
Fucking keep him fit. I've been I just try to get my steps in, like, and then I do a bit of weight training 3 times a week. But I mean, I don't want people to be under the impression that I'm some kind of fit guy because I'm not. I've just been doing it for years. I've just been doing it for years. And just because I can lift some things that are heavy doesn't mean I'm fit. And I think
keep
it's been made worse whenever you work from home quite a bit as well. So
yeah. Keep moving's the key, innit? I think. Keep active. I was swimming the night, cold water swimming the night, which has got really cold tonight. But I've not done it since a week past
right.
Wednesday, so it was pretty cold tonight. It's a big. Last week was a lot colder than it had been previous weeks, and tonight was even colder than that. So it's only going one way, and I've no succumbed to a wetsuit yet. I've still managed to just swim in shorts, but come out a funny colour. But aye, we'll keep plodding on as long as we can. But apart from that, I do yoga once a week as well. But I missed out on that on Monday because I was away seeing Eric Idle in Edinburgh, which was
Yeah.
fantastic. Aye. A Monty Python
You do
legend.
yoga? Is that like what Sting does?
No, hey, does he not do
The
tantric
yoga?
sex or something? He maybe does do yoga. I tell you what, yoga's one of the best things I've ever done. Probably about 12 years
Actually,
ago.
I
About
know who does it. Mick Jagger does it.
Oh, he's doing all right for his age, isn't he? Aye, so probably about
He
12 years
is.
ago, I went to a sports physio because my back was giving me a jip. And she says to me, "Have you ever tried yoga?" And I'm like, I kind of laughed. I says, "Is that no for women yoga?" And she goes, "Oh, no, no, no." She says, "Yoga was started by men. And was it in Nepal or China or somewhere out there? It was men that started doing yoga." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll give it a go." But I'll be honest with you, it's probably one of the best things I've done for your body and mind there. But I just feel I've probably been doing it for about 3 months now. And what I notice the difference in, if I'm under a car, working under a car, which I do from time to time, um, I get up a lot easier for it's more like it's like winding the clock back 20 years because I used to be able to roll under cars, now no bother. But in latter times it's taking a bit longer to get up and oh you're moaning and groaning and aching. But I tell you what a difference just doing yoga, eh? So I'll keep going, I'll keep championing yoga. I'd recommend anybody does it. One thing I tried recently was Tai Chi. Have you ever tried you ever tried that? But
Right, but I've got friends who have done well. I remember somebody telling me about Tai Chi a while back, and I do have somebody who does the yoga, so I've heard good things about them. Like,
yeah. I mean I'm open to anything that keep myself healthy, fit and healthy. So if you'll get some people who mock it, but until you try it, I mean, I thought it was that's for women sort of thing, but until I tried it, but no, I thought it's absolutely brilliant, and I think it's quite dependent on what the teacher's like, and the woman that runs the class now, it's more a dynamic yoga workout because you certainly feel like you've been doing stuff after it. Eh? I notice a big difference myself. Eh? So I wonder if any boxers do yoga. I don't know. Mike Tyson used to do is it Kalinetics or something like that? I remember that
did
back
he?
in the day. I'm sure I watched a video about him about his training back in the 80s. And he was doing Kalinetics. He said it helped his balance or something like that. And he did always look like he had good balance in the early days, didn't he, Tyson? So
We
um,
did that with a big joint, did he?
a big joint is very possible. I wonder if Usyk does yoga or that. I mean, his training's
He
legendary,
looks
isn't
like
it?
the sort of guy who do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said he does like a 45-minute warm up before he trains and a 45-minute cool down when he finishes. So,
He's a Terminator, man.
oh, he's just unbelievable. I mean, if he has another couple of fights and retires, I'll be happy to see him just ride off into the sunset. Yeah.
I
So,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
you had something in mind that you were going to tell me about.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it for too long, but I seen an interview with Lewis Crocker today on Talk Sport,
Uh-huh.
and okay, he came across well, um, and they were sucking him off like they do. But I loved how
Metaphorically
Simon
speaking.
Jordan, metaphorically, of course, um, Simon Jordan divulges halfway through the interview that Spencer Oliver thought he got beat, which I thought was kind of funny because you know he divvied it up the same way I divvied it up. There's a point that I'm going to get to that I want to ask, and I want to see what people say in the comments. So there's Simon Jordan exposes Spencer Oliver, and they're chatting away to him or whatever, and they're sort of saying Spencer Oliver kind of makes a point that you know he was. It's a bit of what you like, isn't it? He was busier than you, but you had the knockdowns and whatever. So I kind of wanted to ask, if people want to comment in the comment section. So if you're beating the bricks off somebody in a round, but then the person gets a knockdown, is that automatically a 10-8 round, or does that be, what is it, a 10-10 or a 9-9 or something like that? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how that works because Lewis Crocker, when he was talking about it, he goes, I got two knockdowns. I'm automatically 4 rounds up. And
Yeah,
I'm going to say, obviously, for the record here, that I think Lewis Crocker couldn't win that fight by two knockdowns. So I don't think he won the fight. It was close, obviously, but
yeah,
he didn't do enough work for me. I score I score fights on mostly the output of the fighter. But anyway, I'm digressing. So what I'm saying is I think it was round five where Donovan, like, he pretty much won the round and then he got
yeah,
knocked down at the end. Don't worry, basically, if the round had went on, he would have been creamed and that would have been the end of it. He would have been knocked out. But it didn't happen like that. So either way, I'm just saying. So if you win most of the round and then the other guy gets a knockdown, surely that would be scored a draw.
or would it,
What
should
do
it
you
be
think? What do
scored?
you think?
Should it be scored a 9-8 round instead of a 10-8 round? Do you think? Like a 9-8 round?
Aye.
Is this,
I don't fucking remember how it works. So,
yeah,
aye.
I think it's like a 10 point must system or something like that, isn't it? But I think if you knock somebody down, I think it automatically is a 10-8 round. I think that's how it's scored now. I'm not saying that's right, but I think that's how it is scored, eh? Um,
Somebody in the commentary, the reason that got me thinking that was because somebody in the commentary went, well, it's whether, you could score that round a draw. So I was wondering what way does that work then if it's scored a draw? And, well, it just got me thinking about the whole thing. So I don't really know. Like, I'd need somebody like Julian to tell us about that.
yeah,
But yeah, I just don't see how you can win a whole because it happened to Joseph Parker as well. You can
yeah,
win the round, then get knocked down. It's like, well, does all your work get flushed down the toilet just because the guy got knocked down? That's a bit shit in my opinion. Like, but
yeah.
there you go. That's the postcard.
I mean, it's a good topic. It's a good thing to look at. I mean, I've been intending to watch that fight back again when I get time because
Okay.
I keep seeing people claiming that a lot of Donovan's shots were getting blocked or catching Crocker in the gloves. But I'd have to watch it again in the cold light of day. My opinion at the time was I thought Donovan had just done enough to edge it, but I thought he's lucky not to get knocked out in the fifth round. You know that he was on wobbly
Yeah.
legs when he got up. So, but he was saved by the bell, and he came back in the sixth round. His legs were okay, so he obviously was fit and recovered well. But I am tempted to watch the fight again just to see. But like you say, perception. Some judges score for aggression as well, don't I? Think that's maybe an American thing. But um, if somebody's the guy that's making the fight out of it, it's like a bit like Jack Catterall's a negative fighter, but he can be effective, you know. I think he's very
Well,
skillful
in,
and effective, but he's a
in
horrible
that
negative style, isn't he? He's never the one that
in that
makes the
fight,
fight, is he?
you couldn't say Crocker was the aggressor. He just kind of waited to counter.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't, but I don't think he was negative in the way Jack Catterall's negative, you know.
Oh
I
no,
think,
because Jack had absolutely boring his piss, but
oh,
that's a
I,
different. Uh,
I thought Crocker had
God,
I thought he had a smart game plan, but the first fight he had no plan, or maybe it
yes.
wasn't.
Well, no, no, no. It's not that he didn't have a game plan, right? It's what he usually didn't work.
Yeah,
So, well,
he had
I
no plan
mean, and
B.
this is the other thing.
Yeah,
This is the other thing, right? Crocker was talking about, um, oh, I got two knockdowns. He was legitimately knocked down before the foul. So
yeah,
therefore, the reason why he changed his style was because if he did what he normally did, Paddy Donovan was going to put beat the bricks off him.
pick him
You know what I
apart.
mean? So, um, okay, so he adjusted, and he admits this in the interview. He adjusted, but the plan was successful, obviously, because he's now the world champion. But the point is, so he realized I can't come forward because I ain't gonna lose. So I'm just gonna have to hang back here, make you come forward, and then um counter. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? So,
I just
well, that's a
thought
bit
to
shit, isn't it? But
I thought to win the fight he would have needed a higher punch output. I thought he just wasn't throwing enough punches. I think Billy Nelson said to him in the corner, you need to, he was kind
yes,
of urging
He
him on to
started.
throw more. Yeah, he was urging him on to throw
Yes,
more. But
I agree.
I think Billy Nelson was right in saying there was something no right with him in the first fight. Well, they're saying now it's food poisoning. They wouldn't say before, but I didn't think he looked right. But I don't know. But I thought it was just because Donovan was way better. You know, I thought they were light years apart, but it was a lot closer in the
I
second.
think that's what it was as well, because in the build up to the first one, they laughed at Donovan whenever they said about power. The Crocker camp laughed. I think what happened in the first one was pretty much kind of what happened Donovan, only to a greater extent. I think Donovan in the second fight was like, oh shit, he was surprised. And I think that's what happened Lewis Crocker, but to a bigger detriment in the first fight. I think Crocker
Yeah.
was like, oh, you're way better than me. Oh fuck.
Aye. Yeah.
So
Way better than he thought.
uh
And then I think
yep.
Donovan underestimated Crocker in the second, thinking it was the same guy who's going to turned up the first fight. Yeah. So
Yes, because you would think that you wouldn't think he had. Well, this is why you wouldn't think that, because in the first fight you were like, well, where's the other dimension to your game? And he didn't have it.
he's
But
just
I'm just gonna say that
marching
that's
forward
the
with high
sort of
gun.
that's the just sort of tactics that wouldn't work again.
Yeah.
It's like when Muhammad Ali did the whole leaning back on the ropes thing. Well, with George Foreman, well, he wouldn't be able to do that again.
No. If there was a rematch, might have been a different kettle
Yeah,
of fish. Yeah.
exactly. That's my
Yeah.
point. But anyway, we talked too long about that one, I think.
That's all right. That's all right. We've got Dave Allen versus Makhmedov on the 11th of October. So 2 weeks away. What do you think about that one? Would you make
Well,
Makhmedov the favourite?
I'll just say Dave Allen's obviously, you know, a bit of a letdown. Seems like a nice fella, but I mean, how he's found himself in this sort of situation is it just a bit bizarre, given that he retired, etc.
Yeah.
Makhmedov, Makhmedov has been exposed, and he's absolutely garbage. So in that fight, for me, it's going to be Makhmedov's going to come out and try and kill Dave Allen very quickly. If Dave Allen survives the storm, Dave Allen wins. But I just think that guy's going to come out and he's just going to try and kill him, and he can sustain that for 3 rounds quite intensely, and then it starts to wind down a little bit because we all seen the KBL fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dave Allen's like talking. I picked this fight because I can see how I can beat him. Yeah, he can beat him because he's basically seen what KBL did, which was
Yeah.
box smart and go to the body. Uh, I don't think Dave Allen's going to pull it off. He has the chance, but I don't think he's going to pull it off. I think Makhmedov is just going to kill him.
Well, Dave Allen is tough
What
and
do
he's
you?
got a good chin there. So the only time he's been
I know,
stopped,
but
he's been quit. He's kind of quit on his stool, isn't he? So
how much more points?
I saw somewhere he said he took Makhmedov fight because he was scared of him, eh? Because he got offered other fights and said they didn't scare him. So but Makhmedov looks scary, but
Oh,
I think he's not as scary as he looks, is he? Like you say, he's been found out,
he's
hasn't he?
absolutely shite. He's
Yeah.
absolutely shite.
Who was the first guy to beat him? It was
Uh, KBL
Sanchez.
beat him, and then Leo Guido Vianella beat him.
Ah, was it him? Ah, yeah. Did he fight
No, but
Frank Sanchez? Was it Frank
KBL beat
Sanchez?
him.
Yeah, did Frank
Nah,
Sanchez not beat him first?
no.
No.
Let me look. Let me look.
Have a look.
No, KBL beat him first, and then Guido Vianella.
It was Caballel that beat Frank Sanchez, wasn't it?
Yes,
No,
yes.
Makhmedov,
Yeah,
because that was two big wins for him at the time.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So you're picking Makhmedov in?
Yeah, but I mean, I want this to be known, like, Dave Allen, if he's very smart and knows what to do, could easily beat him. But I just think that guy's going to come out like a fucking bull in a china shop, and he's just going to wreck the show,
Yeah,
or he's going to try.
he's a big guy, isn't he? But Dave Allen, I like you say, we've got to give him a chance, don't we? But it's maybe a
Oh, he's got
50-50 fight. You could maybe call it a 50-50 fight, would you? Would you go as far as that? 55-45, maybe in the favour of Makhmudov. Eh?
that right. I could say it's a 50-50, right? But the thing is, though, right? See this guy Makhmudov. I always kind of you got to think about the psychology of things on these thing sort of fights, right? This guy Makhmudov was told to us that he was going to be some kind of danger guy, some kind of next big thing. This guy knows his career is going down the toilet, so he's going to be desperate.
Ah,
Desperate men do, you know,
desperate things. Eh?
exactly. So, whereas Dave Allen is the most casual boxer in the world, so I don't know. Maybe that gives it, 49-51 for Makhmudov. I
Makhmudov.
don't know.
Could be. I tell you something
Who do you
I saw reported today was that Joe Calzaghe's been voted as the greatest British fighter ever. Would you agree with
I've
that?
seen that.
Would you agree with that? Or
I really hate saying people are the best ever. I hate that.
yeah,
Um, I think Joe Calzaghe, ever so slightly in the last while, has been forgotten about. That he's like, is he the only one of the only British fighters to retire? Certainly in the
undefeated.
modern era, undefeated.
Yeah,
Um, that
40,
be
46 wins and 32 knockouts, wasn't it?
that has to be recognized um, as an achievement. Does it make him the best ever British fighter? I can't say that. I recognize his achievement, but I don't know if that makes him the best ever. It certainly makes him. I mean, everybody seems to wet their knickers over Lennox Lewis.
Yeah,
'Cause he was in the glamour division as well.
yeah.
I've got a Joe Calzaghe up there with Lennox Lewis, and I'm all about like what you achieve, right? And Joe Calzaghe achieved in a way more than Lennox Lewis because he didn't get beat.
Yeah,
And then you can give all this sort of bullshit about, well, he didn't fight this guy and he didn't fight that guy, blah blah blah. Well, he fought who was in front of him, so
yeah.
there's an argument about did he duck Froch, but I think he would have beat Froch, and I don't care if people disagree with me.
I think he'd have beat Froch on points. I don't see Froch knocking him out. And I think his Bernard Hopkins win, which was a horrible fight to watch, I think
Terrible.
it's gained more value in time because years and years after that, even if Hopkins was like 42, 43, Hopkins was
He
still a
became a
world
champion.
champion, late 40s, wasn't he? He was still so that
Right.
strengthens that win, I think. I mean, to say he was too old at 43, but he's still a world champion at 49 or whatever it was. That puts some value on that, I think. I saw Joe Calzaghe fight live at Ingleson Showground against a guy. It wasn't one of his best fights, but it was good to actually see him fight live. Cabaret Salem or something, I think was his name. I think he was Egyptian, the guy. So it was good to.
Hmm.
We got tickets. It was like 40 quid a ticket. This is like must be what year was that? 2004. So 21 year ago. And the seats we got were decent. It was like 40 quid a seat. And I think Alex Arthur was on the undercard. He was fighting on the undercard. He was a good stylish boxer, Alex Arthur. His son's actually fighting next week, Alex Arthur Jr. at
You
Brayhead
gonna see
Arena,
him?
in Glasgow. I'm hoping to go through.
You gonna
Yeah,
see him?
if I can go through, I'll go through. And there's a guy Nathaniel Collins who's fighting. He's fighting a guy. Is it somebody Lorente, Spanish guy for the European featherweight title? I think that's the headline act. And it's probably about. I think it's about 8 or 9 fights, maybe more. Excuse me.
That should be good.
Yeah, I'm hoping it goes through. Yeah, it's a Frank Warren Queensbury production, and I think
That's good.
Steve Bricktop, I think Steve Collins Jr.'s fighting on that as well. Was there no talk of building a fight
You know
up
what?
between him and Eubank Jr.?
I haven't heard Steve Collins Jr.'s name mentioned in a long time, so I kind of need to check him out because
Yeah,
I haven't heard of him. And
I
um,
I think he was, fighting at cruiserweight or something like that.
is he fighting a cruiserweight? Here we go. Here we go. If they build up a fight between him and Eubank Jr., Jesus, we're scraping the barrel. Terrible.
Eubank's way above him, isn't
Absolute god. I mean, yeah, but Eubank Jr. is, he's finished. Like that's why he's fighting Conor Ben.
he? Yeah,
Um, what's this guy's record like? So Steve Collins Jr. is 15 with 5 losses. Um, if Steve Collins Jr. was wise, he wouldn't have anything to do with that Eubank Jr. fight.
yeah. Good money though, eh?
Uh, he's cruiserweight. You're right. He's cruiserweight.
So what way is that fight
So
going to be at
that's
if it happens?
I mean, maybe. Well, if Eubank Jr.'s like middle,
He's fought a
then
super before. He's fought 168, hasn't he, a few times? Not for a long time.
light heavy, maybe you want to say, then maybe something like that, maybe meet in the
Yeah.
middle. But like depends. I don't know enough about Steve Collins Jr., but that's utter garbage trying to make a fight like that. See this is a bad trend I think that's happening here. Like who wants to see Eubank Jr. and Ben again anyway? What the hell's going on there, Andy?
Nah, I didn't know what to see. I thought it was done and dusted the first fight. And to try and I remember what shouldn't be forgotten, I think I mentioned in a video, Eddie Hearn talked in that while Eubank was away at the hospital, talked in that post-fight press conference about trying to maybe we need to boil Eubank down another couple of pounds or something. I thought, what, they're trying to kill the guy? Again, what? What desperate measure? Oh,
That's
we'll
brilliant.
beat him if we take another half stone off him. It's well, he said 2 pounds, he didn't say half a stone, but why are you trying to the guy's fucking he was dehydrated to bits anyway, so what are you trying to fight a skeleton? Oh, then I beat a fucking shell of the man. It's disgusting, and I hope there's no rehydration clause with this rematch because that's disgusting if there is.
Call this sort of stuff out because another getting back to actually the how we sort of started things with the Lewis Crocker interview. Lewis Crocker has decided to pick a guy who is only valuable because of his name and all the controversy surrounding him. Because who has Conor Ben fought top 10 welterweights?
Maybe. When did the last fight at welterweight? Is it not about 4 years ago?
So yeah, so what is he 154 now? So anyway, the fact that he's called out Lewis Crocker's called out Ben makes me go, is this Lewis Crocker's way of saying I'm not good enough, but I could beat him and make a load of money? Is that what he's saying there? But the fact is, like Conor Ben's name has been elevated to the point where it shouldn't be elevated, and it's all been through
Yeah.
controversy and his name. It's utter garbage.
What's he
And
famous
Eubank,
for, eh?
he's famous for controversy.
Yeah.
He's not famous for what he's done in the ring. And plus, he's tried to leapfrog all the, you know, no area level, no British level, you know what I mean? No like English level. Like it's just absolute shit. So this is a worrying trend then that's like, oh, so anytime someone's got a name attached, we're going to get their kids to fight, get Campbell Hatton to fight, you know, um Costa Zoo's son, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just nonsense. This is stuff that fans just need to reject because this is where we're at now. People are doing this garbage.
It's like bad fantasy fights or something, isn't it? That's what it is. And
Yeah.
I think Turkey Al Sheikh,
Yeah.
though I do appreciate he's done a lot for boxing, but he was trying to get Calzaghe and Froch to fight, getting offered stupid money. And
So
he said,
that's a novel. That's another novelty fight. So what, people are, that's where I have to say, I have to call that stuff out. This is
yeah,
where, oh, great. This guy's involved in boxing and he's making these fights. Isn't it great? He's making the right guys fight each other. No, he's not. He's just looking to make money.
yeah.
So there you go. That's a suggestion. That's not the only shit suggestion he came out with. He came out with something else. Um,
Did you not try to get Did you not try to get Lennox Lewis to fight Mike Tyson again or something? Something fucking ridiculous like that.
it wasn't that one, but he had another crappy suggestion. Oh no, I think he exposed his plans whenever he said he wasn't interested in seeing Parker fight Usyk.
Aye.
And I was like, you don't want to see Usyk fight Parker? So what
Parker's the most
way? What?
he's most deserving of a title shot, Parker, at the time anyway, I would say.
So what way is things working for Turkey Al Sheikh then? So basically, what we've found out here about that guy is he's not actually in it for boxing. He's in it for shite. So basically, you'd say he's like a posh version of Triller boxing,
Yeah.
in my opinion. If he's going to fights like that, he's the upmarket version of Triller boxing or Triller or Thriller, whatever the fuck it was called. Novelty stuff. You know what I mean?
Was he in it for his own personal what would you say, gratification or something like
Well,
that?
sort of, this is me getting assassinated now for saying this, but it's all basically trying to make them look good, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're that country.
Yeah, that's it. They're trying they're trying to get alternative to the royal wealth, aren't they? They're trying to turn the country into some sort of hub for sport or whatever. Like it. Some people call it sport washing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right terminology or not, but
We've
I
heard
don't
that
want to
term
see.
used. I'm not.
I, I mean, like you were saying, Calzaghe was swagged for not fighting Froch, but then Steve Collins didn't fight Calzaghe, did he? And I think probably they were both at points in their career they couldn't get up for a fight like that, maybe because they weren't a big enough name at the time. Like maybe Froch, like Collins thought Calzaghe wasn't a big enough name at the time, or kind of a young up and comer. And he was, I think Steve Collins he was trying to angle for a fight with Roy Jones Jr., wasn't he? He was always shouting about that.
Yeah,
And then
and that's
Calzaghe
that's
was good.
that was a fair point. That was a fair point because do you remember a few years back, Steve Collins was trying to get
Yeah,
him and Roy Jones Jr. was in the works again, but
they'll try to get money, weren't they, to back it or something like that, weren't they?
as old men. So I actually believe Steve Collins was fairly genuine in his desire to do that. But I agree with what you said there. And I agree that sometimes you just get people who they're at the end, they're at the very end, and you're just coming into prominence.
Yeah,
And it's maybe not always the right thing for that fight to happen. It's, you could say, but what about the passing of the torch? Yeah, but if the guy who's going out wants to go out, on his terms and under, the best possible style as he can, he's not going to take that fight. So, but he's done enough in his career to earn that right.
yeah.
So, um,
You're looking for
I'm all right.
a pension fight as opposed to a mandatory challenger fight or something, you might say.
It's why nobody wanted to touch Collins, and then suddenly he got drawn into the Eubank fight because Ray Close wasn't able to fight Eubank for a third time. So that's a guy who basically made the most of his opportunity, and then he ended up beating Eubank, and then Ben and whatever. He made the most of his opportunity. So and then he defended his title for what is it, 9 times or something. So he didn't need to fight Joe Calzaghe. It probably I don't really know what way I would have seen that one.
I
Could
think
have
Calzaghe would have been
could have
too
been
busy for him. Eh?
He could have been too busy, right? But if Collins was on his game, he could have made it into a rough affair and maybe not let Calzaghe get away with it. But
Yeah.
either way, it did, and I can understand why it didn't happen. So,
I enjoyed that
because of the
documentary
reasons you.
one. I enjoyed that documentary that one night in, was it Mill Street or something like that? I thought it was brilliant, but I thought it was oh, it's good. I thought it was terrible what they did to Ray Close, making him go to a press conference, and when he had some, the reason he couldn't fight was a medical reason, wasn't it? He had to retire. Yeah, they put him
Yeah,
at
brain scan. He actually fought on in America to try and prove a point, but it didn't come to much.
right.
I'll be honest with you, Andy, I didn't know because I obviously remember that fight as a kid,
Yeah,
but I did not know Steve Collins was sort of like the sub. I
yeah,
didn't realize he was
no,
right Ray Close third time, and that was very see for Ray Close. Oh, that's really sad, really sad.
yeah. I thought that was
And
heartbreaking when they did when they stood him up there and right, and then they pulled him away and then pulled Steve Collins in. It's like, well, you can't fight him. Come and have a look at what you're fighting now.
but
I thought it was
Steve
dreadful.
Collins was a nobody. Steve Collins was a nobody, and then he went, "I'm gonna just make the most of this." I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Pulled it off as well, eh? Pulled it off.
Exactly, and
Right.
that's where I feel really bad for Ray Close. I feel really
Yeah.
bad for Ray Close, and I
Unfortunately,
always think
I'm saying
he been.
unfortunately, we're running out of time. We've got 30 seconds left. Time flies when
You
you're
know
having
what's
fun,
shite?
Gerry. Time flies when you're talking shite or having fun.
Well, if you need to do another one over the weekend, sure, just give me a shout.
I'll do that. Aye. Anyway, good to see you. And you have a great weekend, Jerry. And thanks everyone for watching. And it's good night from me. Good night from him. Good night.
Take it easy, everybody.